Hello, this is me. I'm glad that I had some free time tonight since there wasn't a football game. It's very convenient how the game automatically saves replays now, so I don't need to record live. I can just pick out the best ones, or the most recent ones, being these 5 that I'm going to show you guys. And, yeah. Let's start with this one against Joseph. Believe he was rank 19. They were playing Min Min. Use the dragon arms. So not only can we view the replay, but we can also change the angle. For example, now we're seeing it from Joseph's perspective, and we can see it from the general perspective. Got a trade there. And I dropped my shield a bit too soon and trying to do the parrying. Super armor helped me get a good trade there though. The combination with the electric and dragon arm is pretty dangerous. Plus they read the shield and got a grab there. So let's head over to round 2. Begin. So I switched over to the Tribolt since the Blorb was not fast enough for me. And it worked out pretty well, since as you might have seen I did win the second round. It's not a good camera angle, let's just get behind me again. You can also put it in slow-mo, which is pretty neat. Or flat out stop it. I don't even know what happened there. So one of the things I have trouble against the dragon is the laser is, I believe it's instant, so, and it follows you around. I got a Russian, so this round was pretty close. I was a bit desperate to get hits in here, which led me to get hit by the dragon. Let's go to the last round. And got a trade right off the bat. I'm gonna get hit by the dragon again. But yeah, the instantaneous laser is troublesome, but so is the fact that the dragon, once you throw it out, it'll still continue to follow me, and since Mechanica is not fast enough to, you know, just sort of walk by it like some other characters are, you've either got to repeatedly dash, like you can't just do the low hover, you've got to dash over and over again, or you've just got to shield, which is the reason that I'm constantly shielding in this fight, is because the dragon, you really can't do much else against it. Yep. See, it follows you, the dragon, it follows you, so even if I had, as you can see, I'm dodging to the side here, but the dragon laser continues to follow, and then when it shoots out, it's able to get me. So it looks like it's not instant, but it's so fast it might as well be. Watch the second round where he gets me even worse. I switched over to the Megawatt, which is probably a bad decision, but I wanted a heavy arm for this fight, since heavy arms do decent against dragon arms. In my opinion, at least. Since they can go through the laser. Honestly, kinda wish the dragon arms were lighter, like heavier than light arms, but lighter than medium arms. Same with the bird arms too. The bird and dragon arms, I kind of wish they were sort of in between. That was a very poor decision there. Just a random grab. I think it was out of habit, since a lot of Min-Mins like to shield when you try and attack them while they're charging. do get some hits in those, so this round's pretty close so far. Not only can you not really react to that, but even if you do, like, I press the ZR button to shield and get hit in the head there, but it's just not fast enough to dodge the rush, which is kind of frustrating. But hey, it was pretty predictable in retrospect, since that's what they did basically every time they had a rush, is they'd jump up in front of me, then punt, or then rush. So I probably should have expected that coming from this person. Yeah, see, there it is again. And if I had my Megawatt, I would have been able to plow through her rush, but unfortunately it was extended too far away to come back in time, so it was a completely wasted rush. Things are still looking pretty close though, so if this was live, I wouldn't count myself out just yet. See, they're about to do that again, and that time I think I did predict it. They were also a bit further away. And there we go with it, Sparky. The Sparky sorta, if you look here, hang on, it sort of blocked my view, so I couldn't see the dragon until it was too late and react to it. So that was a little frustrating, but well, whatever. And then after that, we went up against another player named Steelhead. They were rank 20 max brass player, and we actually had some pretty close fights. I think he got the first one, he beat me pretty badly. But then in, this looks kind of fast. Then in, round 2, I think I beat him, and then he got me in round 3. Yeah, so it looks to me like these replays are sped up a bit since you can see I punched, but it was too high, so it was a bit annoying getting grabbed. Froze him. I probably actually could have hit him out of the rush there with a Coolerang, but I didn't want to risk it at the time. Plus I hadn't thought of that, I just wanted to get in a shield as soon as possible. The worst part about facing this Max Brass is he gets way obnoxious whenever he's in his low health comeback mode. Like, because he can get away with it with his super armor and permanent charge. Also, that's annoying, like how arms like the revolver and stuff come back fast enough for you to get the grab but not the Megawatt. Like, what's the point then? I guess you could combo it with just a normal punch, but most of the time the Megawatt being the heavy arm is either the second one to come out or oh, this is still the first round. Oops. Sorry about that. Anyway, I should consider using the Megaton instead. I actually did use the Megaton a bit, or maybe even switch over to like the Whammer or something, since I used to use the Whammer a lot. I thought I would be able to escape it since I was pretty far away, but alas. And see, here's the part where he gets way up in your face. And I was still able to knock him down, but it wasn't an easy feat. Especially like, he's not giving, this was very smart of him, he's not giving me any room to charge my arms. It's not Springman or Twin Tail. So I wouldn't be able to charge my arms safely. And so he's got the super armor to resist it all. That was pretty lucky that it didn't knock me out there. which means with no room to charge arms combined with super armor, you have to get basically twice as many hits on him. So, if we look here, it looks like his downfall was actually the explosion of his own arm. So, that's interesting. It looks like he's coming towards me like a superhero, and then it blows up in his face. Alright, so round 3 does take me down in this round. Using the double roasters. Switched to the Coolerang since the Megawatt wasn't really doing much, but the Megawatt might have actually helped a bit more in this fight. And that was a really horrible decision, since no matter what would have happened, I would have lost that, since he could have punched through it. But he was also buffing up, so we got the shockwave. I was kind of expecting him to shield it, actually. And here, it's just irritating since I get grabbed like 3 times. And like, obviously he's probably gonna grab again, but if I were him at that point, I probably would have actually just done a regular punch or something. And I sorta expected a rush, but I think it was a pretty lucky read. And also, that was kinda lucky. I don't know why the roasters didn't cancel out the... Oh, it was a grab. That's why they, the roasters didn't cancel the tribal. So, again with the super armor and giving me little room, sort of retreat into a corner here for a second, but that was unfortunate. And see, what I was expecting him to do was, I expected he was going to jump up, since he does that a lot. And he didn't, so I would have actually won had I gotten that read. And that was again a bad read on my part, since I was expecting him to grab, which is why I grabbed, to cancel out his grab. But unfortunately, he must have thought that I had thought that he would do that, so he rushed instead. And if I had held shield for long enough, he probably would have just grabbed anyway. Anyway, next fight is against Jiku. They were rank 19, I think. They were playing Lollipop. And bad trade on my part. So a lot of canceling the tribal, and also the boomerang, and just curving arms in general, mostly the bird arms, but the boomerang really was getting me here too. And combined with the toaster, it's a really good combo. It was a good combo from the tribal. So we're just sort of throwing out a lot of punches here. Not much really happens. So then they dropped their shield a bit too early, or maybe they thought they were gonna do the parrying. So then comes what was extremely lucky. This wasn't intentional at all, but whenever I threw the Coolerang, it somehow disabled her arm, which completely screwed up her dodge. So whenever I punched with the Tri-Volt, it was not guaranteed it, because the boomerang could have gone through it, but she didn't throw it out soon enough, so it unfortunately did not land. Anyway, on the round 2, switched to a heavy arm, because I was expecting a toaster again, so it could go through that, but that was not a good decision since the boomerang goes through that really well. And I probably could have rushed 2 there to go through her rush, but I chose not to since she was above me, so I would have had a significant disadvantage. So finally get a hit after they've taken out half of my health, but I didn't do so well this round. And that boomerang, they get a good combo there too. So we get a trade there. And the super armor is really helping me here. I'm trying to beta unnecessary rush out, which is why I was doing all that grabbing, since I was trying to just get him to waste it. Then I switched to double tri-bolt since they're dodging around a lot. The rush, sort of a lucky read. Oh, I think I saw a bit of lag there too. So you look at her right arm, which is the cool boomerang. It's missing the arm. Or maybe I just couldn't see it because of the lighting. I'm starting to get chipped away here, and I was sort of doomed there since they could break my shield. And finish it off with a good hit, and that's the end. So good game to them. Let's go to the next one. And the final replay of tonight, it's against a Ribbon Girl player named DiGiorno's, like the pizza, I'm assuming. Or maybe that is their name, I don't know. Anyway, they're playing Ribbon Girl, and they were rank 18. So, started off, I switched from Megawatt to Chilla because I figured, for now at least, I didn't really want to use a heavy arm since they hadn't given me really any success recently, except maybe a little bit against that first player. So one thing I noticed that basically every single Ribbon Girl player in existence does is this pattern. They jump, they dash, they fast fall it. That's like Ribbon Girl 101 it seems. And sometimes they do mix it up by adding a second jump in there, but I rarely see them do just a normal fall. And that was really annoying. Like, see, they grabbed, and then I rush, but somehow, come on, their arms, see, like, look at that. Their arms somehow come back fast enough for them to shield 2 punches. That one even went through them. So, that was really frustrating. And that was also just a really good grab on their part. And also a really good rush. I didn't expect that. It was not only out of the blue, but close enough to be in unreactable range, especially with glove arms, which are fast enough, but apparently don't work against Ribbon Girl. So, I'm in the lead, so they're probably desperate for damage now, which I was able to knock him down, and I did a little taunt there with the shielding. So so let's move on to round 2. I switched to the tribal because, as I said earlier, it's good for catching people in their landing, so that's what I'm trying to do here. It's not working out as well as it does against other characters, though. It's working better to slide over her Sparkies. That's the word. And then I try to grab there. They don't really follow up with anything, so I get away with getting shocked. And it looks like her arms just sort of stop for some reason. And that was another... I think this might have just been lag, since the grab even breaks, but I still get it anyway. So that was kind of dumb. And this time I expected the rush and was able to shield through it. And now they're really desperate for damage since they're low on health and I've still got 3/4 left. So they rush, and see what they were doing here, and then let me stop this real quick. What they were doing there is when people rush, when your arms are extended, the camera rotates extremely slowly. So they're trying to get really far to the side because most people when they rush, they just don't stop. And then I knew this, so I stopped rushing just for a second and waited for them to get in front of me again. And what they were doing now is they tried to punch, but unfortunately they were caught by the rush, and that was their downfall. So anyway, a good game to everyone I played tonight, and just one last thing that I want to discuss is the badges. Since it allows you to display some accomplishments such as reaching rank 16 and like beating the level 7 Grand Prix and such, but it's also nice how you can go into ranked with like an emblem for your character on you, which is what I have, or like sometimes I'll go in with this instead so people know I'm using motion controls. What I don't like is how these are all random design, so like for me, getting 10,000 points in the arm getter gets me this one, but for someone else, they might have hit rank 11 to get this design. They might have gotten 500 points in skill shot to get that one with bark. So I don't even know what the majorities even mean. Like, what does a rush meter have to do with this? What's this cracker icon have to do with the arms test? And yeah. Anyway, looks like I've got one left on this page, but I'm pretty sure there's more badges in this, since obviously Mechanica is not the only character in the game. But anyway, thank you for watching and have a very nice weekend. See ya.